The sun bled orange across the high plains of New Mexico Territory, 1887, when Elena Vasquez first saw the stranger riding slow along the arroyo. Vast devils danced behind his sorrel mare, and the man himself sat crooked in the saddle, one arm cradling the other, blood seeping through the fingers of his good hand. Elena was 16, small for her years, hauling water from the spring to the adobe where she lived with her brother Tomás. She dropped the bucket. Water soaked her huaraches and the hem of her faded calico dress, but she didn't notice. The estranger's eyes, stone gray and fever bright, locked on hers, and in that single heartbeat Elena felt the world tilt. "Señorita," he rasped, voice cracked like sun-baked clay, "your mercy, please." Then he slid sideways, unconscious before he hit the ground. Tomás came running from the corral, rifle in hand. 22, broad as an oak, he was the only family Elena had left since the fever took their parents 3 winters back. He stared at the fallen man, then at his sister. "Bandits been hitting ranches north of here," he muttered. "Could be one of them." Elena knelt, pressing 2 fingers to the estranger's neck. Pulse fluttered like a trapped moth. "It's burning up, Tomás. Look," his shirt soaked through with blood. She tore open the flannel. A bullet had furrowed the estranger's ribs, ugly but not mortal. "We can't leave him." Tomás spat. "We got nothing to spare. We got water. We got clean rags. We got hands." Elena's voice shook, but her chin lifted. "Maguld be taken him in." Tomás' jaw worked. Their mother's ghost hovered between them, Candide Maria Vasquez, who they once nursed a dying Comanche scout back to health and earned the tribe's respect forever. Tomás cursed under his breath, slung the rifle, and hoisted the stranger across his shoulders like a sack of feed. Together they carried him inside. They laid him on Tomás' own cot. Elena boiled willow bark for the fever, cleaned the wound with mezcal that made the stranger groan even in delirium. Night fell purple and star-drunk. Coyotes yipped beyond the cottonwoods. Elena sat beside the cot, wringing cool cloths across the man's brow. Tomás passed, boots thudding on packed earth. "Name is Caleb McKenna," the stranger mumbled once, eyes fluttering open. "Ranchero, from Colorado." "My brother," his voice broke. "He defeated me." Elena's hand stilled. The words hung foul in the lamplight. She glanced at Tomás, whose face had gone stone-hard. "Rest," she whispered, though her stomach twisted. Over the next days Caleb's fever broke, but the story spilled out in fragments between spoonfuls of atoll and sips of water. He and his brother Jonah had inherited the family spread, 10,000 acres of prime grazing land along the Arkansas River. Jonah, older by 5 years, had always been wild, but the gold strike up in Cripple Creek turned him cruel. He wanted Caleb's half. One night, drunk on whiskey and greed, Jonah beat Caleb senseless, branded him with a running iron across the ribs, JM for Jonah McKenna, then dumped him on the trail with a single bullet to remember who owns you now. "I crawled 3 days, Caleb said, voice raw. "Thought he did ye. Then I saw your light." Tomás listened without comment, but Elena saw the muscle jumping in his cheek. She knew that look, Tomás calculating odds, weighing justice against risk. Their own ranchito was modest, 40 acres, 100 head of longhorns, a windmill that coughed rust. Bandits had rustled 20 steers last spring. The territorial judge was 3 weeks, right away. Lab was a rumor here. On the 7th morning Caleb could stand. He tried to saddle his mare, but the wound reopened, blood staining the bandage Elena had wrapped. She caught his arm. "You kill yourself. I got no claim on your charity," he said. "Jonah's coming. He always finishes what he starts." Tomás entered the barn, pitchfork in hand. "Let him come." Elena's heart lurched. "Tomás. We ain't running, little sister. He says burned. Not from any man." That afternoon riders appeared on the horizon, 6 of them, Jonah McKenna at the front, black Stetson low over mean eyes. They reined up 50 yards out, Winchesters glinting. "Send out my brother. Jonah Bejobeth. Or we burn the place." Elena's knees buckled. Tomás shoved her behind the water trough. "Stay low." He stepped into the open, shotgun loose in his hands. "Your brother's manding. Ride on." Jonah laughed, cold as a wall. That brand says different. Caleb's mine, body and land. Step aside, Greasy. The slur cracked like a whip. Tomás' knuckles whitened. Elena saw his finger tighten on the trigger. One twitch and blood would water the dust. Then Caleb limped from the house, shirtless, the livid JM scar glaring. Jonah, he called, voice steady despite the pain. This ends today. Jonah's grin faltered. You look half dead, little brother. Alpha life is enough. Caleb raised both hands, empty. But I ain't fighting you. Not with lead. The outlaws shifted, uncertain. Jonah spat. You gone soft? No, Caleb said. I gone smart. He turned to Tomás. Señor Vázquez, you and your sister saved my life. I owe a debt. Let me pay it proper. Tomás frowned. Speak plain. Caleb faced Jonah again. The ranch. 10,000 acres. I signed my half over, today, to Tomás Vázquez. Witnessed and legal. You want it so bad, buy him out fair. Or right away empty. Jonah's face purpled. You they give prime Colorado grass to a. To the man who showed me mercy when my own blood showed me hell, Caleb cutting sign, or lose everything in court when I testify what you did. Branding a man's a hanging crime, Jonah. Been out here. Silence stretched, broken only by the creak of saddle leather. Elena's pulse thundered in her ears. She stepped from behind the trough, small but unafraid. We don't want your land, Señor McKenna, she said to Caleb. We want peace. Caleb's eyes softened. Peace costs, señorita. Let this be the price. Jonah cursed, but the fight leaked from him like air from a punctured bladder. He knew the law, knew a branded man's word carried weight with any judge west of the Mississippi. He wheeled his horse. Keep the damn dirt, he snarled at Caleb. I make my own fortune. The outlaws followed, dust clouds swallowing them. That night Elena sat on the porch steps, moonlight silvering the cottonwoods. Caleb approached, a folded paper in his hand, deed transfer, witnessed by the mission priest who they'd ridden over at dusk. He offered it to Tomás. Tomás stared at the document, then at Caleb. This is generous beyond reason. Reason's what saved me, Caleb said. Your sister's kindness. Your courage. He glanced at Elena. I was dead inside before I met you both. Fat had eaten me hollow. You showed me another way. Elena's throat tightened. She thought of her mother's grave beneath the mesquite, of the nights she'd cried herself to sleep fearing Tomás would turn hard to protect her. Instead they'd chosen mercy, and mercy had returned tenfold. Tomás took the deed, but instead of pocketing it, he tore it neatly in half. Caleb's eyes widened. Land ain't payment for a life, Tomás said. It's partnership. You stay. We run both spreads together, Vázquez and McKenna. Equal shares. Your cattle, our water. My sister's cooking, your know-how. He offered his hand. Family don't keep score. Caleb stared, tears tracking through trail dust on his cheeks. Slowly he clasped Tomás' forearm, rancher to rancher, brother to brother. Elena felt the moment settle in her bones like warm rain after drought. Years rolled by. The combined ranch grew to 30,000 acres, branded with a new mark, a circle the entwined with an Amy. Elena married a schoolteacher from Santa Fe and taught their children to read beneath the same cottonwoods. Tomás never spoke again of the day he almost pulled the trigger, instead he told the story of the day he didn't. Caleb found laughter again, deep and genuine, and every spring he planted wildflowers along the fence line where Jonah's riders once threatened fire. Travelers passing through spoke of the Vázquez McKenna spread in odd tones, how two broken families became one unbreakable, how a scar that once spelled ownership now spelled redemption. Children begged to hear the tale, and old vaqueros crossed themselves when Elena told it, her voice steady as the plains wind. One evening in 1895, Elena stood at the corral watching the sun sink moltenly behind the Sangre de Cristos. Caleb, gray now at the temples, joined her. In the pasture, Tomás laughed as his youngest daughter tried to rope a calf. Think we did right? Caleb asked quietly. Elena smiled, eyes shining. We did more than right. We proved the world can change, one heart at a time. Caleb nodded. Your mother would be proud. She is, Elena said, and mended with every beat of her mended heart. Far off, a coyote sang to the rising moon, but the night no longer felt wild or empty. It felt like home, vast, forgiving, and alive with second chances.